Dad, what's a boner?
What is up, everybody? It's your boy Gregorio coming to you live from the PHX. I hope you guys are having a great start to your week. Me, I'm having a great start to my week. Big reason why is work is on a slow path right now. Get to just chill out a little bit, do a lot of busy work, but chilling for the most part. Chilling, digging in a little bit, learning a little bit more. And that's making for a pretty easy week. Finally was able to chill out and have dinner as a family, table dinner last night. Your boy threw on some seared ahi. And it was awesome. Had a salad with it. Wifey had a rice bowl. My son even ate it, and he's not a big he's not an adventurous foodie, would say. Neither is my wife, actually. Like I think I mentioned this on an earlier podcast, but give her, bread and cheese, loaf of bread, some cheese. She could probably survive in the wilderness for at least 3 weeks. As long as something doesn't eat her or something like that. Anyway, what do you think about family dinners, sitting down as a family? You think it makes your family stronger, tighter? Do you think, I know that we a lot of the time will sit around the TV, we'll do something along those lines. We rarely sit around the table as a family. I don't know if I did it much when I was young either. I think it was definitely, let's sit around the table, something along those lines. My mom worked pretty late a lot of the time, so we wouldn't have table type dinners. When we were at my dad's, or mostly my dad's parents' house, we would, it was the TV tray. Grandpa would be sitting in front of the TV watching sports or the nightly news a lot of the time. Rarely let us take over the TV to watch our sitcoms, but there was a TV in the room that we would, sit in front of, TV tray in hand, whatever we used to eat a lot of TV dinners. I feel like TV dinners were a big thing back in the day. You hit up one of those Salisbury steaks. I'm not sure if you young kids know what a Salisbury steak is, but it is pretty much I don't know, it's like a hamburger that's doused in gravy. I might even put it a little lower than a hamburger, but damn, it tastes good. We used to go to this place. It was similar to the Golden Corral. I'm sure you guys, a lot of you know what the Golden Corral is. It's the buffet style, family style restaurant. And you walk through a line. It was kind of like being in, school and taking your lunch ticket and walking through the line and just, getting whatever they gave you. But this time you actually got to pick. So we had a place called Fur's Cafeteria out in Santa Fe, New Mexico. And I mean, that was the spot. When you were young, you would go to Fur's Cafeteria. You would hit up the mashed potatoes, I think, were really good. My bro would always rock the mac and cheese. They had steak there. I can't remember if they called it Salisbury steak too, or if it was just I don't know, some kind of steak. But I remember it was pretty good. Again, I was young, so I think at the time all the shitty stuff was probably pretty good. I would definitely not go and throw that down now. It would probably give me diarrhea. No joke. When you get older, your guts get a lot worse. I mean, it's just not as fun. When I did that carnivore diet, it felt good after a while, but for the first week or so, this meal might be a little bit too much information, but fuck it. The first week or so, literally, I feel like I was peeing out of my ass. It was terrible. I mean, you had to have a bathroom real close. And I was doing it while we were still in the office. So, I mean, it was real close. And I'm a very shy bathroom person. When I go, I like going on the end stall. Sometimes I'll take the handicap stall. My bad to the handicap people. But I'll take the handicap stall. I like chilling. I don't like seeing people's feet. There's always a time where someone I swear I have the worst luck when it comes to that, because there's always someone that comes in and just blasts an ass. I mean, it's like they haven't shit in 3 weeks and they just come and just throw it down. It's gnarly, and it always happens to, I would say 75% of the time it happens to me. I'm sure some of you experience the same thing, or some of you are those people that just go in there and have no regard and just blast ass. So, if you are those people, you need to chickadee check yourself before you riggedy wreck yourself. So, if you don't know me that well, I actually have a little personal thing about me. I actually have something called a seizure disorder. So, it's not epilepsy, it's just a seizure disorder, but they are grand mal seizures. So, weird, because I don't really share this a lot with everybody, and now I'm sharing it with Facebook and whoever else is going to be watching or listening. But I've been pretty blessed. My medication regulated me. I started this when I was like 23, and I didn't have a seizure for, I would say, it was about 11 years. And that was through drinking, which you're not really supposed to do, like heavy drinking, through boxing, through, jujitsu, stuff like that. So I didn't have a seizure for a long period of time, which was great. But when I first met my wife, it was about 6 months in, maybe a year. I had left a job, started a new job. That's stressful as it is enough, especially a new position that you really don't know anything about. I was commuting really long, so I was just stressed out in general. And I went to this restaurant, and I was with a buddy. I get this weird feeling, this weird aura before it happens. But anyway, I went to lunch with a buddy. Didn't think anything of it, because a lot of the times with that aura, my medication I think would block it, and then I wouldn't have to, and then it wouldn't come to fruition. And that happened, quite a few times, so I just didn't think anything of it. Next thing you know, I'm looking up, and there's a medics helping me up from the ground, and I'm sitting down. And if you experience this or know anybody that's experienced this, it really drains you out of all your energy. So I woke up. I mean, I just kind of felt weird. They let me drive, so I drove back to the office, let them know what happened, drove home, and just thought maybe it would be a fluke thing. And since then, like I said, that started about 3 years ago. I've had, I would say, about 4. But one time, speaking of taking a shit, this was back in March, maybe early March, before this whole pandemic thing started. I was using the restroom at my company, hitting the handicap stall again. Some dude came and sat down and was totally blowing ass. And then that aura came, and I had one earlier in the day, and it didn't come to fruition. So I just thought, fuck it, nothing's gonna happen. Ended up having a seizure, falling and hitting my head on the toilet dispenser. And the dude that was taking a shit, I think, from what he said, he came out of the bathroom because he saw my feet under his stall. Can you imagine the fear that you would, just how freaked out you would be? I talked to him after. He was like, he was freaked out. Anyway, so I hit my head. He came over, and I think the security people and stuff came over, and I know that my ass and my dick were out when they pulled. I didn't think I even wiped my ass. So it wasn't itchy or anything when I left, but I don't think I did. And so these people helped me up, and thank God for them. I was blessed. I did bust my eye up a little bit. And when you have seizures and you have grand mal seizures like that, I pray to God that none of you have to experience it. It's not bad. It's probably scarier for the people that are around me. I just black out, and then I come back to, and stuff will be kind of messed up. I've bit my tongue before, which fucking sucks. If you guys have bit your tongue, you get a blister or something in there, and it's fucking awful. Also, you are clenching so bad that you'll bust blood vessels, and I busted one in my eye, and it didn't hinder my vision or anything like that, but it fucked me up pretty good. So I was, I had to go get this crazy long EEG, they put this thing on your head, and I had normal EEGs before, but EEGs, they put these nodes on your head, and then oh, my boy Steve says there's chopsteak. Sorry, going back to it. Chopsteak was what it was at FERS. It's probably still there, and so yeah, I mean it was good at the time. Anyway, back to the seizure thing. So anyway, I have this big thing on my head for 4 days, and they monitor and track it for 4 days and kind of see what's going on. It was actually pretty good. They switched my medication, so I've been pretty good with that. You know, Godspeed, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, that I'm able to stay controlled and not have to worry about it. But so they put this whole thing on you. They put these nodes. They did harness to where it's coming from, like in my brain, and it's like the front left area. So that makes it better. And as long as this oh wait, let me rewind. So because they harness it there, I can actually have surgery eventually if I need to, and they will they'll know where it's at. Hopefully that's the last resort, because I don't want to have surgery. I don't want to deal with that in any capacity. But I mean, at least it's an option. So, and my seizures aren't frequent enough to warrant that, but hopefully, as I get older, nothing happens more. I need to be here for my baby girl and my son as they're growing up, and my wife even. I'm sure it was terrifying for her the first time she saw me had it. She's seen me only once. And yeah, she's always been there for me, though. You need to find yourself a woman or a man that'll always be there for you, no matter any of that situation. Because, and I almost want to cry a little bit, is because, I mean, I've dated girls before, and they've never, I mean, I couldn't imagine them being there for me like that. And I even have friends, people I would call friends, that I'm not sure would, support me in that regard, or stay with you, invite you out still, things like that, because they're worried like something's going to happen. But definitely the relationship things, I mean, I don't know, and I don't want to pin that on them fully, but I don't know if I would have. I don't know if they would have stayed with me after that. I mean, it's a scary thing. And so if you have yourself a ride or die, keep them, just lock them down. So yeah, I mean, my wife has been great with it. She stayed with me, and like I mentioned, it's not an everyday thing, so we're very blessed with that. But that goes into something else. I mean, if you guys have children that have issues like that, you can even drop in the comment box how you guys deal with it. It's got to be, I'd rather have it to me than it happened to my children. And I hope they stay healthy and nothing happens to them, for their entire lives. I would protect them with everything I could if I could keep them away from any type of harm or hurt or pain or anything like that. And I'm sure all of you parents would do the same. But yeah, I mean, how would you deal with that? I know I've had friends that their children have had seizures and things like that, and it's just got to be so terrifying and heartbreaking for people when you see your kids injured or anything like that. I know my mom still, if something happens, my mom is worried about me, calling me all the time, making sure that I'm okay. And I get a lot of support. When I posted the EEG pic on social media, a lot of people were hitting me up, and still to this day, everybody there's few people that make sure I'm okay. But yeah, with your kid, there's this podcaster I listened to. His name's Brendan Schaub, and he said his son started having seizures, and he was super worried about it. Thankfully, as the son got older, it has dissipated. He said he started using a lot of like CBD oil on him. I asked my doctor about CBD oil, and they said there's not enough evidence to warrant that could be a solution, but you never know. So anyway, going back to that, this week is going to be a good week. Like I mentioned, it's chilling week. This weekend, I'm a big UFC fan. I've said it before. There's a great fight. There's this guy named Colby Covington who is kind of an asshole. At least he portrays that. I think UFC's gotten a little bit WWE. From what I've heard, this guy's actually not a bad human being in real life, but he's very hardcore Republican, very hardcore Trump. I think he's even visited the Oval Office because of all his antics. A tough motherfucker though. Every other fight, he's just a grinder. This guy has cardio for days. Can get in there with the best of them. He was at the top of his class, fought for a title, but got beaten by a dude named Kamaru Usman. So if you're not familiar, this guy is just a jacked Nigerian dude, and it was a good fight. It was a really good fight. They were both really competitive, but at the end, Usman stopped him. He broke his jaw in the fight. I mean, they slow-mo'd a picture. You see Colby Covington's jaw go from his right side all the way to his left side. And he even says it in the fight. I just can't imagine that. Like, you like to think you're tough, and I think a lot of people are like, man, I'm tough. I could deal with a lot, Yeah, maybe emotionally, but these dudes, I have to be mentally strong. This dude broke his jaw, I think, in like the second round, and he fought with a broken jaw for the whole round. I've seen dudes break their feet, break their hands, and they're fighting through the whole. I broke my hand one time. I was actually boxing with my younger brother, and it was before we knew how to box or knew how to wrap our hands or do anything like that. So I was boxing with him, and of course it's your younger brother, so you want to make an example of him. So I hit him really hard one time with like an overhand right, and of course I hit him wrong, break my fourth metacarpal, first broken bone I've ever had, and the first surgery I've ever had. So anyway, I break it. He was here for 2 weeks, or he was supposed to be here for like 4 days, but anyway, he ended up staying 2 weeks because I had to have surgery. His first surgery I've ever had, first time I've ever put under on my hand. They, wrapped up my hand like a burrito, and I have 5 screws. I mean, it's still, even when it's a little cold now, it still hurts a bit, but not a big deal. So, but yeah, I still box with it, still do things. It's definitely still strong, but it felt so weird. I actually, I broke it, I went and worked, and I was a server at this place called Gordon Biersch. Went and worked for food running. And when you're food running, if any of you have been in the restaurant industry, you have to hold multiple plates, take them out. My hand swelled up like it had been stung by a bunch of bees. It was actually looked like if you blew up a what is it called, a rubber glove, sorry, if you blew up a rubber glove, and a little bit like big, it was fucking like that the whole time. Anyway, I couldn't carry anything with this hand. It was awful. So I knew that I broke it after that. You could see my bones one was on top of the other, so they had to reset them. My finger actually still, these two won't touch. It's getting better. But for a while, my finger was twisted and it wouldn't touch when I make a fist. So yeah, be careful when you're out there boxing, when you're out there doing that garage boxing with your cousins or brothers or sisters. I know you people in New Mexico do that. We used to do that all the time. One time we were in high school and we set up like a fight club, kind of, but it was kind of a pussy fight club because we would put on, we stole some helmets from one of the middle schools, and I'm not going to say which one, but we stole some helmets from one of the middle schools. Now I think about it, it's pretty fucked up because, but anyway, we stole these helmets. We go to a friend's garage and we tape these duct tape gloves. They're these like fake Mexican gloves that my dad had brought me back from Mexico, and they were just cheap pieces of shit. So we taped them up with duct tape, and we set up people that were about the same size. And pretty much the whole group of friends actually got into it. And this is like one of the few times we've all gotten back together and hung out, because everybody did their own thing. But they always set me up with my boy Mike Padilla, and for some reason he always wanted to compete with me. And I don't know if it was we were similar sizes or he knew that he could beat me because he was a lot faster and things. He was definitely more athletic. But I was way tougher than him. So when we were boxing, we just kept throwing swings. And you realize, you really feel like you're in there. If any of you had sparred or anything like that, you feel like you're in there for fucking hours. And it's like two minutes, maybe. I think maybe at the longest we would go was 2 minutes. They'd go a minute, ring the bell. I remember these two dudes. So this guy named Danny and this guy named Matt. Matt was a football player. Danny was just kind of a normal kid. they didn't like each other for some reason. I think, I don't know why, but they didn't like each other for some reason. And we got in there, and Danny has two older brothers. I think Matt has one, but Danny has two older brothers, and I think they used to kick the shit out of him. So Danny went in there, and I think he did way better than Matt. He went and threw some hands. He was smacking them. And when you're wearing helmets like that, you're not feeling anything, so you're just going and blasting people. Definitely, probably, maybe affected my seizure disorder. Definitely did something, gave us, all of us, a little bit of brain damage. After we did the boxing thing, a few of us ended up going and trying to do an actual, like, throwing fists. And we went to this place called Marty Sanchez. Oh, no, was it Marty Sanchez? There was a park next to this golf course. And me and, like, two other dudes tried fighting. We even did, like, a kind of a three-way fight. And I remember this guy, Vince, he punches my friend Mike in the stomach, and then he runs towards me, and I think I open hand, like, because I couldn't get my fist strong enough, so I open hand bitch slapped him. Because he was running, he, like, hit Mike, and he was running with his head down like a football player, and I just open hand bitch slapped him, and it was fucking hilarious. So, yeah, and I think we stopped that after, like, one time. I mean, we're all too pretty to be fighting like that. But anyway, so I think we started this episode talking about sitting at the table, and you think if it helped you at all. If you guys did sit at the table and you feel like it helped you in your family setting or your family dynamic, or if you do it consistently, you should drop a comment in the comment box, and we'll see what people say. I don't know, I think it might have helped people get closer. I don't know many people I feel like that did. A lot of people that I don't know if their families just worked different hours or came from, their parents were divorced, so maybe with one side they would sit down and do it and the other side they wouldn't. I just definitely know that I didn't very often. We were definitely a TV watching, eating family, and it's carried over for sure. I would like to start doing it a little bit more with my family. But again, me and my wife both work. When we're at home now, it's a little bit easier. But when we're both working, don't get out till 5+, depending on what time of year we're doing. My wife works early in the week, not getting off till about 6. So it's it's definitely more tough. Also, I just think there's so many other places to go out to eat. There's just, I think that's why people gain weight and get fat. Me and my wife are trying to trim down because we're going to a wedding in Orlando in October. And, I got to get myself at least like a 2-pack, something going on. I'm definitely a lot lighter than I was at the beginning of the year. At the beginning of the year, I was pushing like 180. Now I'm about 163. So that's a big accomplishment for me. And I feel anyway. But if I could get myself down, with a little bit of more work it out to about 155, I feel like I'll be slim. I'll be one of the slimmest I've been in probably 10 years. And, I'll be looking fresh. So any tips on working out or how to try to lose weight? I do a lot of boxing, and I have 2 heavy bags in my backyard. I have a double M bag. I do sprints as well. So when I finish boxing, do about 30 minutes of boxing, and then I'll go sprint around the block. So I would say about 10 sprints, 10 like 50, 60-yard sprints. And I feel like it's been helping me. Definitely helps my cardio. Well, but my back fucking hurts. Also, if any of you guys are physical therapists, work for physical therapists, have back issues, my lower back every morning is so stiff. I've been trying stretching at night and still wake up, stiff. So, and not that kind of stiff. I wake up stiff in both ways. You married guys know. You ain't getting the booty all the time like you used to. They want you to make a baby, and you help them make a baby, and then they don't want anything to do with you until they want another baby. Women, get off that horse and jump on your man. Get off that horse and jump on your man. But yeah, so where are we going? We were going with the eating out. There's like a lot of stuff to eat out now, especially around us. We're in I love a big city, so I'm definitely not a small city. Though if I did move back to New Mexico, I'd probably move back to Santa Fe. It's expensive as fuck there, and I feel like there's not a lot of job opportunities, so I'd probably have to commute to Albuquerque, which I wouldn't want to do either. So I would definitely weighing the options. For you people in New Mexico, I'm potentially thinking about coming back because we don't have any family here, and it's definitely harder on the kids, harder on my wife. So you might be seeing me walking the aisles of, Albertsons, maybe bump into me at Allsup's getting a chimichanga. For you people that aren't from Santa Fe, if you haven't had a chimichanga from Allsup's, you're missing out on life. You need to pass through Santa Fe, and everybody wants to go see, the downtown and the cathedral, and that's all nice and well. They want to go up, the mountains. Yeah, you don't know until you hit up that Allsup's chimichanga, until you get some of that green chili from, my parents have been going to the Pantry Dose a lot. Took my son there while they were with him for like 6 weeks. The waitresses know him. He would get French toast. I mean, they would come and it was like he was the king. They would just come in there and just throw the French toast down. He didn't even have to ask. It was like he was the Don, just the Don of the Pantry Dose. It was pretty funny. But anyway, I miss my parents. I miss all the love that we have. If you don't have your family around, it's tough because and you're not rich enough to fly them in every other weekend, which we're not. It's tough to be able to, manage that. I was able to enjoy Sedona with them last week. We don't get together as much anymore. I am fully support everybody trying to get out there. Even if it's just an hour away from your home, leave your parents' nest, go and go and do your thing. Make that life happen for you after you and right when you turn 18. I feel like we need to kick our kids out a little bit earlier, 18, 19, and not necessarily not let them come back if they have hard times, but we need to kick them out a little bit. Here, baby bird, go fly. Even if you hit a wall, just go fly. And I think we coddle them a little bit too much. I know 18 now isn't the same as 18 when I was turning 18 and I'm 36, or definitely not the same when my parents were turning 18. My mom had me at 19. I mean, I know there's girls that are still having kids really young, but I couldn't imagine this life's probably just the maturity level, everything that's going on in their head, But anyway, so yes, it's hard to not have family here. We're thinking about potentially going back, and this would be like, not anytime real soon, but potentially. I got some good homies. My boy Steve on here. I don't know, he's probably working but not working right now, and he's working but not working. He's working, quotes, and he's listening to my ass. So hope some of that was other of you are as well. Support your boy. Share the podcast. You could find it also if you just want to listen and don't want to see my ugly face. You could find it on Podbean. It's on Apple Podcasts. Somehow it got filtered from there to Apple Podcasts. You could hit me up. It's going to be posted on YouTube too, as well as the Facebook Live. So I should probably be working as well, but like I mentioned, it's a slow week, so I'm able to do the podcast during the day. But yeah, I mean, I want you guys to listen, support. Jump on me with topics. I need some more topics as far as family goes. I like just bullshitting on here, and I think most people like the real talking bullshit, trying to hear who I am. That's the conversations I have. Sometimes I might get a little grimy. Sometimes I might get a little emotional. I'm an emotional person. I mean, I'll watch some movies like Onward. I think made me tear up. Coco for sure. If you haven't watched Coco and you're, a Hispanic or Mexican person, I'm telling you, it'll make you cry. It will. It's a good movie, and it actually, for children, I feel like it helps them. Maybe not super young children, but when you're old enough to like think about ghosts or dead people, it helps them to like think about that and not be afraid. The way that it is, the way that it's done. I didn't know much about Dia de los Muertos before that movie, and I feel like I dug into it a little bit more. We have a little ofrenda back here, if you could see behind me, of all the people that we love that have passed away, and it's good because it's like they're looking down over you. We set it up for our wedding. I mean, it's just the, and I think this year during Dia de los Muertos, we're going to get, the flowers and put some of the favorite things up near the ofrenda, and just roll with it like that. So, well, anyway, I hope you guys are having a great start to your week. I'm not going to try to take up too much of your time. Again, like I mentioned before, I want to try to get some people on here. I want to try to get some other fathers, some other friends, ladies. Maybe I'll get my wife on here. She's still fucking, I've been tugging her to do it, but she still, doesn't want to right now. But you'll definitely hear some stories from there and let her. She just talks a lot of shit about me. I mean, isn't that what you do? If you can't have a wife or a husband that talks shit about you and kind of that back and forth banter, are you really in a relationship or a marriage, for instance? No, you're not. You got to be able to tell someone, oh shit, your nose hair is getting long. My wife the other day came in and was like, damn, you're looking like your grandpa Armijo. Your nose is getting big and your ears are getting really long. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? So if you don't know, I recently shaved my face too. So if you could see this in the video, I'm almost always rocking a beard. But I think that beard life is gonna go away pretty soon. And I think everybody's gonna start shaving their face. So I'm gonna hop on it for a little while and see if it goes away. I don't have much of a chin. So that's another reason why I'm trying to lose weight, because I think I have kind of an innie as opposed to an outie. I have a really round face. One side of my face is fatter than the other too. I don't know why, but so I take pictures on my right side. I try to anyway. This left side, it doesn't agree with me on a lot of days, especially after you've gone drinking or had a lot of salt or pretty much any time. So, but anyway, I hope you guys have a great week. I hope you guys listen and share it. Comment when I'm throwing down Facebook Live. If you hate it or if you feel like there's anything that I could do better, please, throw me something in the comment or in the message. I'm on Instagram at Flocking Fathers. I'm on Twitter at Flocking Fathers, and I have my Facebook page, the Flocking Fathers page. So go like it. Subscribe to some of the stuff. Check it out on Apple Podcasts. You can check it out on Podbean is another one. And I appreciate you all. You have a great week, and we'll talk to you later. Peace.